Does anyone else love cookbooks as much as I do? Then you may enjoy this cookbook series collaboration that I'm co-hosting with my sweet friend Ingrid at the Cooking Chronicles with Ingrid. If you haven't visited Ingrid's channel yet, please go take a look because she has some really delicious recipes that she shares, and I know you will love the content you find on her channel as much as I do. And when Ingrid asked me if I would co-host this collab with her, I did not hesitate to say yes. And this is going to be a fun collaboration because we're going to share a different theme each month. And the theme for this month, we will be sharing how to make over your holiday leftovers from a cookbook recipe. So there's going to be a playlist that I'm going to leave the link down below in the description box of all my YouTube friends sharing their recipes that will inspire you to create and transform those leftovers into something new that I think you and your family will enjoy. And these are just some of the cookbooks I have in my collection. I have a whole lot more. But let's go ahead and get started making over those leftovers into something delicious and new for your family. First, I'm going to show you just a small version of the turkey that I would make on Thanksgiving Day. So I'm just using a small turkey breast for this. That way I'm not having this huge, meal before Thanksgiving. So it's going to be a small version, but it's just the turkey breast. And then I'm going to use this Zatarain's Creole butter, and this I use every year. So that's our injector, Louisiana Cajun seasoning, some garlic powder, and then some butter I slice up, and I just season it with the Cajun seasoning. And I'm going to put that under the turkey breast to give it more flavor. But I'm going to show you how I usually put this together, and it's simple and easy. So I have this pan, and I ended up having a large pan, so a little larger than what I needed. But I'm going to put the pats of butter under the skin first, and that usually, like I said, when it melts, it kind of seasons the meat that's underneath the skin. And I'm kind of doing this real fast. Normally I would take a little bit more time to get it under there, but I'm injecting it with the Creole butter. Then I just pat it dry, so that way I put the oil on, and that way it's going to give a browner look to it. I'm going to sprinkle on some garlic powder, and then I'm going to sprinkle on the Cajun seasoning. And I like a lot of this. If anything, I like the skin of the turkey a lot. It always has good flavor. But then, and sometimes I usually will try to put that seasoning underneath. But I put it in the oven, cook it until it's completely done. And you can see how nice and golden that is. So then we just had some of the turkey. I had some I love cranberry sauce, and some mashed potatoes and some roasted veggies. Normally we have other things for Thanksgiving, but that's what we had this night. And now, what do you do with the leftovers that you have for the next couple of days or so? So sometimes we have a lot more than this left over, but this is the cookbook that I'm going to use to show you how to, do something with those leftovers. This is Southern Living 2002 annual recipes, and I have several of these books. I love these particular ones. They have lots of great ideas, and I think it's a great cookbook to have in your collection if you don't have them. It's kind of like an album in a way. You have several, each one for every year. So to make this, I'm making the most of leftovers. So I thought this was an absolutely perfect recipe for this. So like it says, you ever wonder what to do with that extra ham, roast beef, turkey, and it's a Mexican turkey turnover. So these are going to be the ingredients that you will need for it. I'm going to show you exactly what you need. And this is going to make 16. And it's also not my recipe. It is actually Mary Shivers from Ada Oklahoma. And she submitted this recipe for this cookbook. And it's in this section where it says Thanksgiving with family and friends. So this was perfect, like I said, for this particular collab to do. and making the most of leftovers. So I'm so glad I have this cookbook and am able to share this one with you. And again, it's the Southern Living 2002 Annual Recipes. Maybe you can find this one in a thrift store or a book thrift store online. So for this one, very simple and easy. You need your leftovers. So you need 2 cups of chopped turkey. Then you need half of a bell pepper, any color, and a medium onion chopped up. Then 1 cup of colby-Jack cheese blend, and then about 6 or so green onions chopped up, and a half a pack of your favorite taco mix. You'll need an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce and 1 can of Grand's biscuits. So we're going to make, this has 8 in a can, and we're going to make 16. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And first, what I did was add some canola oil. You can use whatever cooking oil you want, about 2 tablespoons, and then add your onions. And you want to heat up your oil first, but add your onions, and then you're going to add the bell peppers. And you will saute this until they become softer and the onions become translucent. Once the onions and bell peppers are to a softer consistency, then add your cooked turkey, and like I said, 2 cups, and just chop it up. Add your tomato sauce, and you want to mix this up really well. Add half of the pack of the taco seasoning, so you don't need to use all of it, and you're just going to mix that in until that is completely dissolved into the mixture. So just cook that down for a few more minutes to make sure all of those flavors start to meld together. Once it's been heated through, just set it to the side, and now we're going to start making the turnovers. So you need to take your biscuit and just cut it in half this way, where it's a round portion. I tried doing it where I cut it in half. That didn't work out so well. So if you cut it in half this way, split them in half, this works out a little bit better. You're going to roll it out into a 6-inch circle, and I didn't quite get it to 6 inches, but it still worked out pretty good. So that's about as large as I could get it, because it was thin and I was a little worried about the thinness. But put 2 tablespoons of that mixture onto one side of it, one side of the biscuit. Put about a tablespoon of the cheese, and I just kind of eyeballed it, and then added about 2 teaspoons of the green onions. Same thing, just kind of eyeball it. Then pull the other side of the biscuit over, and I used my fork, the end of the fork, and just kind of pushed it in to kind of get where I could seal the edges of it. So kind of like a hand pie sort of you're doing. So crimp the edges, and then you're going to put this on a baking sheet lined either with parchment paper or aluminum foil. Put it in the oven on 400, I believe, degrees, and you will cook this for about 15 minutes or until they're golden brown. And just be sure to put a good seal around the edges. That way nothing, pours out as you're baking it. And then this is what they look like when they come out of the oven, golden brown and crispy. So these were absolutely delicious. You can see where some of it came out a little bit, but none of these ever overflowed, which was great. Some of the seal, like I said, didn't seal completely, but that was fine. So I was very pleasantly surprised with these. They were delicious. So definitely something to do with that leftover turkey or ham. You can also do it with roast beef, any kind of meat, it says. So definitely one to try. And you get 16 of these. So really delicious. These would be great for a lunch, brunch, or a dinner. Just add extra sides, veggies, or a salad, and I think that would work out perfectly. And I hope that you enjoyed this first video in our cookbook series. So please don't forget to check out Ingrid at the Cooking Chronicles with Ingrid. And please don't forget to check the playlist down below of my YouTube friends who are going to be transforming their leftovers into some delicious recipes. So please be sure to check that out. And I hope that everyone has a blessed day and a great week. Thank y'all so much for watching. God bless y'all.